this is so helpful. Why don't I do this more? When it would be much more useful to think, this is so helpful. I want to remember to do this on a regular basis.
Right.
When I feel this way again, maybe I just do it every morning so it becomes part of my morning routine. Then either I can enjoy feeling good about what I'm going to make progress on that day, or I can reframe it, move things around in my imagination to make it feel good. So then it makes it easier. Seems like a win-win, right?
Right. And it seems like something that anyone can do, even if they're not a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey there. Welcome to Getting to Good Enough. I'm Shannon Wilkinson.
And I'm Janine Adams. We're here for practical and fun conversations about living with more ease and way less stress.
Yep. We're all about embracing progress over perfection. So grab a tasty beverage and let's get started. Hey, Janine.
Hey, Shannon. How are you?
Doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you. I had a restful weekend, so I'm doing great here on Monday.
Good. I had a very stressful weekend.
Yeah, we had contrasting weekends. So your Monday's harder than mine, I think.
Yes. And in fact, I kind of had a hard time getting going this morning because I felt like I had so much to do that it was just overwhelming and paralyzing me. It's always interesting, even though I coach people through this sort of thing for a living, I don't really think about doing it for myself so much.
Yeah, I know how that is. You will soon see my apartment and see that it's not as organized as people might expect. So yes, we don't always apply what we know to our own selves, but at least you realized it. That
right.
You weren't.
I realized that I probably had some tools I could use to sort of shift this experience so that I didn't just fret about my day for 2 hours and actually maybe get started with my day. So I started thinking about it, and a really interesting image just popped into my head, which was that my day and all the things that I needed to do was like a big pile of gravel. And when I did one thing, it was like taking a shovel of gravel, getting rid of it. But then I don't know if you've ever had the experience of dealing with gravel, but when you do that, all the gravel like pours down and fills up that spot where you took the shovel. And it just felt like that. And it was just like all I could see was gravel. And it just felt like, oh yeah, so I did one thing and then more gravel piled in from the infinite pile of gravel that is my life. Is how it felt.
You poor thing.
And then I realized, oh, wait a minute. What if I backed up? And so I just sort of imagined myself backing up until I saw that there were edges to this pile of gravel. And it really was just a pile of gravel. It wasn't like an infinite supply of gravel as far as I could see. And then that felt like, oh, maybe, I can do something. Like I've moved piles of gravel before. I know how to do this. But it still sort of felt like a little tedious that every time I took a shovel away, that more gravel would just fill in its place. But I reframed that to, it's not just more is coming in to take its place. It's that gravity is bringing the things down that I need to do so they're easier to reach. They're more accessible. And then that like completely shifted everything. And so I was able to, get going with my day and start doing stuff. And I feel like I can probably not all of the things that I would like to do, but the things that I need to do. I feel like I can actually make some progress today.
That's great, because before that, you felt like you wouldn't get any of it actually done and maybe never would for the rest of your life.
Exactly. That my life was an infinite gravel pile that I could never finish with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's solid imagery, I'd say. And that reframe is amazing. I love the idea that it's just becoming more accessible to you rather than you felt like you weren't able to make any progress.
Right.
When in
Yeah.
fact, that isn't the case, even if it were a pile of gravel, as long as no more gravel were added to it. Uh,
Right.
but good on you. So now you're just getting stuff done, and then you had to stop and podcast. I guess this is one of the
Well,
things
this
you had.
was one of the things I wanted to get done. So,
Right. Yeah. So you're actually making progress as we speak.
exactly. Exactly. Going through this, it reminded me of a technique that I use a lot with clients and that we've talked about in the past on the podcast. And that is like when you have something that feels overwhelming, sort of picture it in your mind and imagine you could shrink it down enough to hold it in the palm of your hand. And you've experienced that before.
Right. Because you've taken me through that exercise.
Yeah.
Yes. And it totally disempowers the thing. Right.
You're right.
It takes its power away and allows it to feel like not such a big deal. And yeah,
Right.
it's really a great technique. And isn't there a
Yeah.
technique involving a high voice as well? Giving the
Well,
thing.
yeah, that's a self-talk technique.
Oh,
So
right.
if you're having a lot of negative self-talk, changing the pitch of it, make it sound like it sucked in some helium and was
Mhm.
talking in a really high squeaky voice.
Yeah.
Or imagine you can turn down the volume on it, or imagine that it was coming from some other place. And people may be thinking, what do you mean? It's all in my head. But if you pay attention to the quality of the voice in your head, it sounds a particular way. It sounds like it's coming from a particular place. Even if it sounds like it's coming from between your ears, if you imagine that it was actually coming from the corner of the room
Mhm.
and just consider what that would be like, that will shift it and make it
Interesting.
feel different.
Yeah. And like in this instance of feeling overwhelmed by your tasks, did you have negative self-talk happening there? I mean, would you consider the thoughts that you were having about how you'll never get it done negative self-talk, or is that something different?
I don't have a lot of sort of active self-talk. Like I do sort of think through things, but in situations like today, I'm not talking badly about myself in
Mhm.
my head.
That's
That's
good.
not, yeah, that's not sort of the primary way my unconscious mind deals with this stuff.
Mhm.
And mine is almost all images, super visual, and feelings. So it's like, it's so quick. There may be some self talk or audio component to it, but it's so quick. It's like immediately is a feeling.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So sort of slowing things down for a minute and paying attention to how you represent whatever the issue is through your imagination, through images, through sound, through feelings in your body, and just practice shifting those can make it feel very different.
I love that imagery of you taking a step back from your gravel
Mm-hmm.
pile. That could also apply to whatever image one might have.
Right.
Which completely shifted your perspective on the
Mm-hmm.
gravel pile and its enormity or lack of enormity. It made it smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. Well, and it makes sense in the metaphor, but also it makes sense in the, I don't know, literal
Yeah.
world. Like a list of tasks may feel overwhelming, and also it's just a list of tasks.
Right.
It, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We can put so much power in a list of tasks, can't we? And it's just a list. I like that.
yeah. All of this matters because how you feel about something has a huge impact on whether it feels easy to do or hard to do,
Mhm.
whether you're able to get started with ease or you really struggle to take action on it. And feeling good, or at least feeling neutral, makes it much easier
Yeah.
to do things. So, like with the task list, if every time every time you think about your task list, it feels huge and overwhelming, like you stop wanting to look at it. You stop
Right.
wanting to think about it. You stop wanting to do stuff. It just feels like too much. And so, imagining that you could shrink it down to fit in the palm of your hand, you're also metaphorically shrinking down everything that is associated with the task list.
Mhm.
So it feels usable. It changes how you feel, your emotions around it. So then you can move forward.
Yeah. Because the way you feel about it, like you said, the way you feel about it has everything to do with your ability to do it or
Right.
your desire to do it anyway.
Right.
Right. What popped into my mind in my experience is, as I mentioned a couple episodes ago, I switching accounting systems. So I'm entering all these transactions into Zero starting from January 1 of this year and learning Zero as I go.
Hmm.
And I was saying, yeah, it's not so bad. I like learning stuff. I like learning new things. And it isn't bad actually, but I think I spent the whole morning with it today. And I think the way I've allowed it not to make it feel like a endless task, because in a way it
Hmm.
is, because transactions keep coming in.
Right.
Um, is that I've been able to segment it by month, right? So, I mean,
Hmm.
it's been a couple of weeks, and today I just finished January in my checking account. I still have credit card accounts and stuff, but I was down to the last ones that I had no idea how to do. But I
Hmm.
really wanted to cross January off my list. So, with the help of AI, I figured out how to do these last tricky ones, and it feels great. And now I can move on to February, which is only 28 days.
Oh,
So, right,
yeah.
exactly. And the repetition is helping a lot. One
Yeah.
of these days, end up without new weird instances of
You've
crazy stuff.
you will have done all the different permutations
I
at
hope.
least
Yeah.
once so that
It won't
it's
be so bad.
easier and easier to do
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. So for me in this case, definitely making it the huge task feel smaller by isolating it to 1 month in one account has
Mhm.
helped a lot. And it also helped that every time I'm in there, I'm making progress, because
Right.
it would be sad if I walked away without making any progress. I've never done, haven't
Yeah.
done that.
Yeah. I would also imagine that saying to yourself, I like learning new things,
Hmm.
sort of starting in that frame of mind makes a big difference, because if you're starting in the frame of mind of, I hate this, I shouldn't have to do this, I don't want to do this, I'm bad at this, I'll never figure this out.
Yeah. That would be horrible.
That, yeah.
This
Yeah.
is great. This is like, me, I like to take the win as much as possible. Every time I do something successfully, I'm like, yes, you got this.
Yoo-hoo. So then you're reinforcing that, and then it
Hmm.
becomes easier and easier to believe, I like learning stuff. I'm learning things. This is
Yeah.
good for my brain. This will help me. So then you're just adding proof to that idea to make it easier for the next thing.
Yeah, it's a good cycle for me,
Hmm.
and one that
Yeah.
I hope I can apply elsewhere in
Right.
my life. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of interesting because I think part of why it's hard for me to remember that I have coaching tools that can help me feel differently about things is that when I'm in it, just feels like, well, this is the way it is. This is real. This is
Mm.
just what it is. There's nothing I can change here. And while that may be true for sort of the external part of it, the things that need to be done or whatever, it is definitely not true for the internal part of
Internal.
it,
Yeah.
which really has far more weight on or influence on your ability to do things.
Yeah. That's a really great reminder because it's so true, isn't it? We think
Mm-hmm.
all about this stuff that's got to get done, but really the first step is the stuff we do inside of ourselves to allow us to do the stuff or do it with ease or do it with as little stress as possible. Yeah. There's so much we can control even when we feel like we can't control things, but
Mm-hmm.
we can try to control how we feel about
Right.
stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just continually find that fascinating and like, oh my gosh, this is so helpful. Why don't I do this more? When it would be much more useful to think, this is so helpful. I want to remember to do this on a regular basis.
Right.
When I feel this way again, maybe I just do it every morning. So it becomes part of my morning routine. And then either I can enjoy feeling good about what I'm going to make progress on that day, or I can reframe it, move things around in my imagination to make it feel good. So then it makes it easier. Like, it seems like a win-win, right?
Right. And it seems like something that anyone can do, even if they're not a coach.
Yeah. It can be helpful to write this down, like do this on paper, or I guess you could type it too, but to kind of track what you're doing if you're new to it.
Can you reiterate what the things that one might want to write down are?
Oh, I just mean like if you're feeling overwhelmed or something, sort of start by saying how you're feeling, and then what is that like for you? What are you picturing? What are you hearing? What are you feeling? And then exploring what makes that feel different.
How can you change
Yeah.
that?
Right.
Yeah.
And the most obvious one, if you have a visual image of something, is to shrink it down.
Yeah.
And notice how that makes it feel. You can just explore and experiment and see what works for you, what shifts things so that you feel more ready to do something, if not even excited to do something.
Excited would be great.
Yes.
Yes.
We would love to hear from you, our listeners. Have you tried this? You can let us know on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Getting to Good Enough. You can send an email to gettingtogoodenough@gmail.com. You can leave a message at 413-424-GTGE. That's 4843. Until next time, this is Shannon Wilkinson in Portland, Oregon.
And Janine Adams in St. Louis, Missouri.
And we hope that good enough is getting easier for you. Thanks for joining us on Getting to Good Enough. We hope you heard something that makes your life just a little bit easier. If you did, leave us a review or share this with someone who's looking for their own version of good enough.
Thanks for listening. See you soon.
I actually do feel excited to do the next things on my list and like check them off and give myself a high five.
Excellent.